Hello, my name is Ani Rahayu. Alright, here I will explain a little about the explanation text, starting from what is explanation text, then the purpose of the explanation text, generic structure, language feature, and until the example of the explanation text. Okay, let's just look at the following explanation. What is the explanation text? Explanation is a text which tells process relating to forming of natural, social, scientific, and cultural phenomena. Explanation text is to say why or how of the forming of the phenomenon. It is often found in science, geography, and history textbooks. Explanation text is a text that functions to explain the process of an event or thing in detail. And then, what is the purpose of the explanation text? Is the purpose of the explanation text? The purpose of the text is to explain how or why something happens. It tells process relating to forming of natural, social, scientific, and cultural phenomena. Explanation text used to explain in detail the occurrence of an event to the reader, so that the reader can understand and obtain information properly. Generic structure of explanation text. 1. General statement. A general statement contains a general explanation of the phenomenon to be discussed. It can be an introduction to the phenomenon or an explanation. The general statement is usually found in first paragraph. Second, sequence of explanation. A sequence of explanation contains and explain or why this phenomenon can or is created. The sequence explanation is the answer to the author why and how question when creating an explanation text. A sequence explanation can consist of more than one paragraph. And the last, closing. The closing is optional, so there may or may not be. Usually in explanatory text, the closing is not included. This is an example of explanation text. The water cycle. We get fresh water through the water cycle over and over again. Water moves from the ocean and river to the clouds. Then it falls on the land and rain or snow and moves back into the ocean and river. Then the cycle begins again. The water cycle has 4 parts. The first part is evaporation. When water is hot, it evaporates. This means it changes from a liquid into a gas called water vapor and moves into the air. The next part of the water cycle is condensation. When water vapor gets cold, it turns into small drops of water that become clouds. When clouds become very heavy, the next part of the water cycle, precipitation. Rain and snow are 2 kinds of precipitation. The final part of the cycle is collection. Water from precipitation goes into the earth and into river, lakes, and ocean. People use this water to drinking too. Paragraph 1 as general statement and paragraph 2, 3, and 4 as sequence of explanation. Language feature of explanation text. 1. Explanation text begin with the question how or why. For example, whoever, do you know how actually cell phone works? 2. Use simple present tense. For example, it includes temperature, air pressure, and water content. 3. Using chronological explanation. For example, the first digestive process takes place in the mouth, from the mouth, and in a few hours. 4. Use scientific expose. For example, atmosphere, friction, and pressure. Next, explanation text using passive voice. For example, water is also released into the atmosphere by the plant through photosynthesis. And the last, use action verbs. For example, release, form, evaporate, fall, and melt. Little explanation regarding the explanation text. Explanation text is of course very useful, so that the public or reader can correctly and clearly know what phenomena are happening. I hope we can all understand the explanation. Thank you.